When The Mandalorian was released last year, it quickly grew into one of the most watched shows ever. From Baby Yoda to strong Mandalorian warriors, the entire show has so much to offer, and we're loving it. It has won 7 Emmy Awards, so we kind of understand why the second season lived on high expectations. Season 2 dropped on Friday, October 30th, 2020. And in today's video, we're going through some things we only noticed the second time you watched the show. Why? Because we all did, and there are plenty of them. Just a fair warning, the following video contains spoilers for Mandalorian. Number 10. Exclusive guest voice.
It's uncool to talk business immediately.
One of the best things regarding The Mandalorian is that the Star Wars show offers an opportunity for many recognizable faces to perform in one-off cameo roles. We saw Jason Sudeikis, Adam Pally, Clancy Brown, and Bill Burr in Season 1. And it was hard to notice them since most of them were covering their faces. But when you watch an episode for the second time, you recognize the voice of those actors. It's quite easy for the show to continuously call famous actors since it's filmed in Los Angeles, and the Season 2 premiere of the Disney Plus series made no exception since it had a lot of guest cameos. Without any further ado, that's John Leguizamo under all the prosthetics impersonating gangster Gor Koresh in the break moments of the Season 2 premiere. He discovers himself in a tight spot, but it still isn't proved if he's dead. Number 9. Whistling birds. Did you guys like Chapter 3 of the show? Let's admit it, we all loved it. The reason? It was the introduction of a new weapon identified now as the whistling bird. Placed on the Mandalorian's wrist, these small, easily controlled weapons were created by the Mandalorian armorer and are ready to destroy many targets at once. When the Mandalorian was saving Baby Yoda from the Empire, he was required to use a few of these new weapons to avoid being caught. It only took him one press of a button and he destroyed 4 remnant stormtroopers without any effort. Once used, the weapons lock on and makes a whistling sound before impact. Number 8. Not true Mandalorians. When you watch the show for the second time, you realize that the first characters that we have seen wearing the well-known armor, Boba Fett and his father, Jango Fett, are not true Mandalorians. Always trying to make the best out of everything, Jango and Boba earned many sets of Mandalorian armor, and as we all remember, that was the best armor in the galaxy. Them wearing the armor face a lot of judgment and anger in true Mandalorians, who think their armor is a sacred piece of their people's history and identity. This didn't change anything though, since they continued to wear their sets of armor during their careers. Did you guys know about this? Number 7. Star Wars nod. It was just about time for The Mandalorian to reference the Star Wars Holiday Special. Did you catch the reference? If not, in the Disney Plus series' first episode, a moment clearly indicates the infamous 1978 TV production that first added Boba Fett, a bounty hunter who knows Mandalorian culture. But The Mandalorian doesn't reference Boba Fett's presence in the Star Wars Holiday Special. Instead, it references it in the story itself. After A New Hope was released in 1977, the film's growth caused a Wookiee tale that was developed by creator George Lucas. The Star Wars Holiday Special is about Chewbacca's efforts to go to his family in Kashyyyk on Life Day, with Han Solo forward for the ride. The special was completed with a cartoon sequence that introduces Boba Fett by Diane Carroll. You can see all the main characters of Star Wars in the special, including Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia. The reviewers and devoted fans weren't so fascinated with the holiday special. Number 6. Boba Fett?
Did you take the creed?
He may not appear in many scenes in the show, but he's certainly one of the most popular Star Wars characters in the history of the show. With his Mandalorian armor, dangerous weaponry, and quiet behavior, Boba Fett was one of the most feared bounty hunters in the galaxy. A genetic clone of his father, bounty hunter Jango Fett, Boba received combat and martial skills from a young age. He might have been on a screen for a short time, and we can't prove it was him, but thanks to the color of his armor and mark on his helmet, we're quite sure that the main character was accompanied by Boba Fett during the show. So, is that him? In an interview with Good Morning America in August this year, Jon Favreau spoke about the iconic bounty hunters addition in the series. Boba Fett is not one of the all-new original characters, he explained. There's a 30-year stretch of story time that hasn't been explored at all, except in the extended universe, he added. Number 5. Brian Posen cameo.
Yes, I still freak out about Star Wars.
When you watch the first episode of The Mandalorian, you wonder if that's the actor from the Sarah Silverman program and Mr. Show with Bob and David. Well, you're right. Not many fans noticed this, but former Saturday Night Live star Horatio Sanz and stand-up comedian Brian Posen both made cameos in the first episode of The Mandalorian. Horatio Sanz performed Mythrol, the first bounty caught by the Mandalorian in the series, and Brian Posen played the taxi driver. You probably know Posen for his role as a writer on the HBO comedy series Mr. Show with Bob and David, and as Sarah Silverman's neighbor Brian Spukowski on the Sarah Silverman program. He also made an appearance on Disney's Kim Possible, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Steven Universe, and games like Halo 2 and Brutal Legend. Oh, did we mention that he loves Star Wars more than his life? During his career, he has played a lot of roles for the franchise. For instance, in the 2013 special, The Fartist, he said he still freaks out about Star Wars. Why? Well, because he doesn't love it, but he hates it because he used to love it. Yep, and it betrayed me, he said. I totally take it fucking personally. And number 4, what are blurbs? Now, what exactly are blurbs? During the first episode of The Mandalorian, quickly after the titular character lands on the desert-like planet of Arvala 7, the helmeted hero gains access to Kuiil, a kind of Ugnaught who's just arrived for his release. I don't know how to write a blurg. That line, said by The Mandalorian, is certainly one of the most iconic things from Disney's newest approach into the expanded Star Wars canon. The taming of the blurg. We call them piranha tadpoles, stated Goran Backman when he discussed the creatures that were developed for Disney+. Backman is the Toronto-based VFX director for Pixiemondo, a unit of the visual effects studios that Disney, Lucasfilm, and Industrial Light and Magic helped out the fantasy worlds of The Mandalorian. His studio is behind the design work for several of the series' great creatures, such as the Dewbacks, the Flying Beast, Space Goat from Episode 7, and the Blurgs. Number 3. Who's IG-11? Did you guys know that newly minted Oscar nominee Taika Waititi voiced the character of IG-11 in The Mandalorian Season 1? Not many fans noticed the voice was from Taika Waititi, but after watching it twice, you'll definitely recognize his voice. The bounty hunter turned nurse droid grew into one of the favorite characters on the Disney Plus show, and Waititi claims he was the real hero of the whole season. Taika Waititi also directed The Mandalorian Season 1's finale, Chapter 8 Redemption, in which IG-11 made his sacrifice. I feel we just need to start a petition because I think that character, really, he held up the entire season, didn't he? From Episode 1 all the way through, he was the hero, he said. Do you guys agree? Number 2. What are mudhorns? When Chapter 2 starts, the main character and Baby Yoda go back to his ship as they find out it was stripped clean by the Jawas. They didn't stop them, and the only solution to get the stolen parts back and fix his ship was a trade with small humanoids. And for the elements, the Jawas required the Mandalorian to recover an egg from a close cave and home to a large, woolly mudhorn. And these super big-horned and deadly creatures are native to the planet of Arvala 7. The Yoda-like child helps the Mandalorian destroy the large hairy beast and recovers the egg. When the trade is done, the Jawas open the egg and start to feast on the yellow interior. Number 1. Bossk Association. The devoted fans of the Star Wars world certainly remembered the 3 bounty hunters who attacked the Mandalorian at the beginning of Chapter 2. They were Trandoshan from the planet Trandosha, and they are sometimes known as Titoshak. These large reptilian humanoids are perceived as superb hunters, but as we previously stated, they are Mandalorian. Now, most Star Wars fans apparently saw that these creatures are the same kinds as Bossk, a bounty hunter who first emerged in Empire Strikes Back, and then in Return of the Jedi. This popular reptilian hunter was once performed by the actor Alan Harris, and later voiced by D. Bradley Baker in the animated series Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Quite interesting, right? We end our video here, guys. Have you watched the second season of The Mandalorian? What do you think about it? Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing videos such as this. Thanks for watching, guys.